In today's class, we are going to start very important and very interesting chapter of class 9, and that is tissue. Before I start with the tissue, I am sure that you must be knowing that what is a cell. Okay, we all know that cell is a basic and structural unit of life. Cell is the basic and the smallest unit, okay, that makes us, okay, that is responsible for all the functions. For example, the nerve cell which is present in your brain is responsible for the transfer of message. The muscle cells which are present in your skin or the muscles, to be precise, they are responsible for the movement in your body. Similarly, blood cells, they are responsible for the flow of blood and oxygen inside your body. But do you think that only one single cell can function all these complex tasks? Can you think? No, these cells actually team up. Okay, for example, the blood cell will make a team of similar blood cells so that the work is more efficiently done, so that the work is more smoothly done. Okay, muscle cells which are present in the muscles, they will team up with their muscle cells. All the muscle cells will team up, they will make a team, they will make a group so as they can function properly. So children, what is a tissue? Tissue is nothing but just a group of these similar cells. Okay, remember, group of similar cells which group together to function properly. Okay, now let's see on the slide. If you will see on the slide, you will see that there are many types of cells. There is this blood cell, ovum cell, nerve cell, bone cell. So these cells cannot function all alone. Okay, they cannot function all the complex functions inside their body all alone. They need a team. Okay, they need a group. Okay, so similar type of cells will combine and they form a tissue. For example, many nerve cells combine to form a nerve tissue. Many red blood cells combine to form a red blood cell tissue. Similarly, many white blood cells combine to form a white blood cell tissue. Similarly, many sperm cells will combine to form a tissue. So, we can say that these tissues are functioning. Okay, these tissues are only responsible for the functioning in our body. As we know that our whole body is made up of cells. Okay, if the body is made up of cells, it means there is a group of cells. Okay, and that group of cells is known as tissue. So, we can see that cell, when combined, they form tissues. Okay, cell they combine, they form a tissue. When tissues combine together, for example, these are the kidney cells. Kidney cells. So when kidney cells will combine, they will form a tissue. Okay, and when these tissues combine, for example, kidney tissue is there, red blood cell tissue is there, nerve tissue is there, the tissues in the stomach are there. When they all combine, they form organ. Okay, when all these tissues combine, they form a organ. And when these different organs combine, they form organ system. And organism is made up of all these organs. So we can basically say here is that tissue is nothing but just a group of cells. Now, these tissues are also present in plants, not only in animals, not only in humans. These tissues are also present in plants because plants are also made up of cells. Similarly, one single cell cannot carry out all the functions, all the cell division, all the food making process, everything. Okay, one single cell cannot do it. So, various cells and also one type of cells are also not present in the plants. For example, in human body, for example, let's get back. For example, in human body, different cells are assigned for digestion. Different cells are assigned for message transfer. Different cells are assigned for excretion. Okay, so these cells when combined they form tissues. In plants also there are many tissues present. Different types of tissues are also present in plants. So a group of cells makes up a tissue. There you can see that many different types of cells combine to form a tissue. A group of tissue makes up an organ. In the leaves also there are many different types of tissues. Okay, so all those tissues combine to form a organ. And these make up a system. These organs makes up a system, and a group of system makes up an organism. Okay, so now I am sure that you must be able to define tissue now. So what is a tissue? Tissue is a group of cells having similar structure. They should have a similar structure. That is very important. Okay, so a group of cells, okay, they should have a similar structure and function. It is not such that you are making a team of one red blood cell, one sperm cell, one muscle cell, and you call it a tissue. No, tissue is a group of cells having similar structure and similar function. For example, in plants and animals, groups of cells called tissue carry out a specific function. In human beings, the cells of muscular tissue contract and relax and help in movement. In plants, the cell of vascular tissue conduct water and food from one part of the plant to the other. So we will study about animal and plants tissue separately in this chapter ahead. Now, there is this term which comes here is that division of labor. What is division of labor? See, in human beings, separate cells are there for separate function. For different functions, we have different cells. Okay, so these different cells, they make tissues. As I told you that one single cell cannot do anything. So there are many different tissues assigned for different function inside the body. For example, nerve cell is assigned for different work. Red blood cells, they are assigned for different work. Muscle cell, sperm cell, bone cell. These different cells are doing different work. For example, if there is some party in your home, what will happen? You divide the duties. Okay, you divide the duties so that there is smooth functioning. Okay, and the work is done efficiently and properly. Okay, so as to make sure that the function is being done efficiently and properly inside the body, the work is being divided. Okay, so here division of labor. Labor means work. You can say that division of labor, division of work. So this in multicellular organisms, the work is divided between different tissues so that there is smooth functioning inside the body. Imagine a situation in which all the work like digestion and excretion. You imagine the situation in which the digestion and excretion is done by one single tissue. So you can imagine the situation. In that situation, the work will not be efficient, the work will not be smooth. Also, these two processes cannot go simultaneously if there would be one single cell or one same tissue responsible for these two processes. Imagine the situation in which the movement in your body and the transfer of message is done by same tissue. You can imagine the situation. In that case, you will not be able to move and think at the same time. Okay, you won't be able to move your body and think at the same time if there would be one single tissue or same type of tissues responsible for these two work. Okay, so that would be very dangerous situation. But we human beings, our body is so complex, but the functioning or the structure is very simple and very precise. Okay, so this term is known as division of labor. What is that? Each cell type specializes in performing one particular function. Red blood cell has different function. Muscle cells have different function. They combine, they form tissue and they make their team and they do their own work. Okay, they don't disturb any other tissues. Okay, so that is called as a division of labor, and this term is common in all the multicellular organisms including plants. The more highly developed the organism is, the greater is the degree of division of labor. So we just discussed here that the more highly developed, the more complex the organism is, the greater is the division of labor will be. Okay, because if the organism is very complex, so it needs more work. So for the efficient functioning of the work, there should be more division of labor. There should be more division of work. So similarly, there is some big function in your home. The division of work is more, is greater. Yes, you can easily compare with the real life situation. Now children, you can see two pictures on the screen. I am sure that you have understood what is a tissue. Tissue is a group of cells. Similar cells, they have to do a similar type of function. Now on the screen you are able to see two types of multicellular organism. Now I will not say living organism. Okay, you are in 9th class. I am not going to say living organism. I will rather say multicellular organisms. Okay, we are able to, what are multicellular organisms? Those organisms who are having many cells in their body. So there are two multicellular organisms. Is a plant or a animal. Can you tell me the differences between these two multicellular organisms? Yes, of course, the appearance. The appearance is different. What else? Their functioning is very different. Okay, their function is also very different. If we see the plants are very fixed at one place. They are fixed at one place. Whereas animals have to move continuously in search of food and shelter. Yes, also the growth. If you will notice the growth of plants, that is different from the growth of animals or humans. So do you think that the same type of tissues will work for both of them? Do you think that the type of tissues which are present inside the plants will also function properly if they will be in animals? No. Why? Because their functions are different. Their body structure is different. Their structure is different. When their structure is different, their function is also different. Their needs are different. So, if we see the structural and functional differences between these two animals, then we see here that there are a lot of differences between plants tissues and animal tissues. Okay, so there are many differences between plants and animal tissues. That is what we are going to understand in this chapter in a bit detail, that what is the difference between plant cell and animal cell. So we just discussed that plants do not move from one place to other. Okay, so most of the cells in plant or the most of the tissues, they are there for mechanical support and strength. Okay, so the plant cells or the plant's tissues, basically they provide mechanical support and strength. Okay, so that is why most of the plant's tissues are dead. Most of the plant cells, they are dead. Whereas in animals, the cells are living. All the cells inside our body, they are living. They need oxygen, they need water. Do you know that? The water that you eat, the oxygen that you inhale, that all goes to your cell. The food that you eat, that all goes to your cell. Okay, yes, it goes to your stomach, but then there are many cells which are present in the stomach. That oxygen and water is utilized by the cells, or rather we can say tissues which are present inside the stomach. So now we can use tissue. Now we can replace the cell word by tissue, because we know that one single cell cannot do anything. So we'll call it by name of tissue. So by now we have understood that plants and animals, they are different. Okay. So the function of tissues is also different in both of them. Here the growth of plants takes place only in some regions. So plants have tissues called meristematic tissues, which divide and help in growth, and permanent tissues which do not divide. So we will understand permanent tissues and meristematic tissue in the next class. Now if we see about animal tissues, animals move from place to place and need more energy. They need more energy than plants because they are continuously moving. So most cells and tissues in plants, they are living. If the cells are dead, then how come the animals will get the energy? So in animals, most of the cells or all the cells, they are living, whereas in plants they don't need to move anywhere. So the cells inside the plants, they are dead. Some of them are living, we will discuss them later. The growth of animals is more uniform. So animals do not have separate dividing and non-dividing cells. Here there are separate cells for for dividing, for division, okay, or we can say growth. By division I mean growth. But in animals there are no separate dividing and non-dividing cells. They are separated on the basis of their function. Okay, animals have organs having specialized function. So the organs have specialized tissue. Like I already discussed that they have specialized function. Like brain cell has a specific function of transfer of message. Transfer of message. Okay, nerve cells. Brain cell, by brain cell I mean nerve cell. Okay, brain cell, nerve cell, they both are same. Now muscle cell, they have some specific function of movement. So animals have organs having specialized function. So their tissues are also specialized. So their tissues are based, the tissues are on the basis of their function. Okay, whereas in plants, the tissues are on the basis of their division, of their growth or not. Alright, so that is the difference between plants tissue and animal tissue. These are some of the more differences between plants and animal tissue. You can take a snapshot of it if you want. So they have all the points that we just discussed, they are mentioned here. So you can have a look on it. Organization is simple. In plants tissue the organization is simple, whereas in animals there is more complex organization. Okay, so you can take a snapshot of it. Now, these are the another differences between plants and animal tissues that we have already discussed. So, due to differences in structure, and function of plants and animals, they are made up of different types of tissue. Due to what? Due to difference in their structure and function. So students, in this chapter we are going to study about plants tissues and animal tissues in detail. Okay, so I am sure and I hope that you have understood what is a tissue. Let's take the definition once before I leave. Tissue is a group of cells having similar function and similar structure. Okay, so in today's class we studied about tissue, we studied about the differences between animal tissues and plants tissue. In the next class I will take plant tissue in detail. Okay, and I am sure that you like today's class. In the next class we will be taking different types of plants tissue like meristematic, permanent tissues. There are many more. Till then, take care.